I'm back. Catch out my longer form video. It's about 20 minutes, but it's worth the listening. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel. Really quickly, I want to talk about this argument between the African and Black American and all these labels of the diaspora. It's just like, honestly, at the end of the day, there's no such thing as the Black race outside of America because Black is a category that was given to African slaves when they were brought to this nation. And so the first generation of slaves were absolutely African Americans because they were born in Africa and then they had to come to America. But those next generations after that, they were Black Americans. Black was the label. You could say that they were African Americans if you want to, because, obviously they are of African descent. But the real distinction kind of happens culturally when you think about what happened to those Africans. They were removed from their African culture. So generation by generation, Black looking people born in America had to create our own identity and our own culture. And you hear Africans say that Black Americans are not Africans. Okay, that's fine. We're not. We're not, because we have generations that were born in a Western culture, Western idealism. We are not immersed in African culture. There's been spurts of times where, Black people of America were, encouraged to get back to their African roots, like in the 90s, back to Africa and to fight the powers that be, all that, pro-Black movements in the 90s that really just kind of died off. And, the residuals of that movement is like your Umar Johnsons and your Tariq Nasheeds and stuff. I say that to say that, Black is a construct of the West. If you are a Black American person who is a descendant of slaves, right? You can choose to say, okay, I want to immerse myself in my African tribal ancestry, and maybe I want to relocate. It is very rare that you're going to find a Black American that does the whole DNA test, finds their African ancestry, go there, visit there, and decide that I'm going to root myself up from America and go and be with my people. That is very rare. And all these pro-blackity, black people, right, on the mic, if they were real about it, they would not want to go back and live, function, immerse, reculturalize themselves, if you will, to their home ancestry lands. No, they might be interested in doing that in the comfort of their American existence. Because, when you look at the slave trade, the Africans, they were giving away these tribes to the Europeans way before they got ran up on and invaded. So most African Americans in this country, and I've said this before, we were not stolen. We were sold by these African nations whom we were slaves to as well, who felt like we were inferior because they conquered our tribes. And they sold us so that they could make money. That's where the whole woman king thing just was a miss for some people who knew the history, because it's like, this was a tribe that actually sold Black people to America. They participated in the slave trade. So why should we honor this movie, glorify this movie, support this movie? That's why it was a flop. No matter how Black they tried to make it with Viola Davis. But anyways, that's just to say that, people, they want to own this construct, this skin complexion, and the character within. Like, they want to make it seem like we all have to have this mindset and disposition of struggle. I divorce myself from those constructs that were really created by white people to keep Black people in an enslaved, marginalized way of thinking. I divorce those things. I'm not going to let a Black or white person in America tell me who I should be in this country. As long as I've grown up, this was a free country where you could think, believe however you want to, as long as you're not infringing upon other people's right to do the same damn thing. So for me, there is no construct of what a Black woman should be or a white, or how I should exist, how I should think or exist. I divorce all of that. So if people are like, oh, you just want to be with your white zaddy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, as long as I'm not with your struggle junkie ass, I'll be fine, right? I'll take a white zaddy over somebody that thinks like you, sir. Okay? And that's the whole thing. Black people, some Black people in America, Black Americans, they are just, it irks the demons in them to know that there are other Black people who refuse to maintain these constructs and live in them. And it just irritates the demons that have been indoctrinated in their souls. Now you want to be with the white man. You want to be, you know what? So the fuck what? You know what? If I decided that for whatever reason, I wanted to fall in love with a white American man, that's my own business. You know why? Because in this flesh that is my body, even with all this melanated skin, right, there's white and Native American. So I can actually pick my ancestors based off of my bloodlines that are actually in me. And that's the crazy thing. I posted a picture on Twitter or X, I'm going to keep forgetting, whatever. But of myself and one of my friends. And when you look at her, she's a very, very beautiful Black, white, Native American mix. She's a gorgeous woman. I have Black, white, Native American in me too, but we've manifested these nations in different ways by natural selection. And I don't desire to be anything other than me. I love my brown skin. I love my facial symmetry. I love how all of those nations have come together to make the person that I am today in America. Right? But I'm not telling anybody else that you need to be some other kind of way. And I used to be like that too. I used to be in that herd of mentality where there's a Black way to be and a white way to be. And if you act in a construct of white or whatever that means, then you hate yourself. And a lot of times it was real ignorance with the constructs of white was, where like if you spoke proper English and you had etiquette and professionalism about you, you were acting white. It's like, get the out of here, dude. Like, seriously, that's the kind of stuff that really irked me. But off that, it's like I can understand why so many people want to divorce this idealism of Blackness, because it comes with so many negative connotations, burdens, and victimhood. It's like, you know what? I'll take my chances just existing as I am and focusing on other aspects about myself and my character than that, right? Because Black is what I am. It's not who I am. And who I am is determined by my knowledge base, my morality, my ethics. It has nothing to do with my race. So I just wanted to leave you guys with this point as well. And I hope you have a wonderful work week. Bye.